Hi, and welcome to your Healthy Home presentation. We are going to learn how to reducing the impact of toxic chemicals today. We also are going to highlight some of the key toxic chemicals, how they affect us, and where they can be found. And we're also going to suggest some simple strategies to begin to detoxify your home. We're going to see why reducing toxic chemical is an attainable goal and one you should start today. There once was a time when the safest place on earth for a person was a home. Today, we live in an environment that is fundamentally different than that of 50 years ago. In many ways, the world is better. Our children live longer, healthier lives than the children of any previous generations. Thanks to safe drinking water, better education, decent housing, and modern medicine, children no longer face polio, smallpox, measles, yellow fever, cholera, and the other infectious disease. Infant mortality is greatly reduced, but we have our own issues. Whether we like it or not, chemicals are all around us and are increasing in places we would have never imagined. Chemical substances are part of everyday life and are a major part of our economy, our community, and our homes. While chemical substances provide some benefits, they also have harmful effects if not properly managed. There are some places where toxic chemicals are causing serious problems. This presentation comes with a PDF file and I will make some references to it. Feel free to ask that person that has invited you to watch this presentation to send you this PDF file or send me a request or any questions you may have at the email address on the slides. Food has changed. It is different than it was before, and it is no longer as pure. Did you know that Health Canada has an agency called the Bureau of Chemical Safety? Their primary object is to ensure that chemicals are not present in foods at levels that would pose an unacceptable risk to health. This include chemicals in food additives, food packaging and material, and incidental additives, food allergens, and food contaminants. One division of this bureau is the Toxicology Research Division. They identify and investigate potential health hazards associated with chemical contaminants, including those of environmental origin, agricultural chemicals, natural food toxicants and constituents, and food preservatives. Research is carried out on the carcinogenics, the mutagenics, reproductive, neurotoxic, and other potential harmful effects of these chemicals, including alterations to the immune system. Why would they have all these government agencies if there wasn't a risk? Even our yards are different than those of the past. They are no longer grown by just the sun and the rain. The Health Canada has a sub-agency called Pest Management Regulatory Agency. Their mandate is to protect human health, safety, and the environment by minimizing risk associated with pesticides. I'd like to read you one of the main reason or area of concern for the toxicology evaluation section of this agency. The toxicological evaluation section for the fungicide, herbicide, insecticide, and antimicrobials identify possible human health effects of pesticides and establish the level at which humans can be exposed to the product without any harm. Studies assessed include short and long term to the capacity to causing cancer, the capacity to cause damage to chromosome, and the capacity to produce fetal malformation, among others. Our homes are filled with chemicals, and our cleaners, our personal care products, our cosmetics, our pots and pans. Let's be clear. Yes, we are made up of chemicals. Essential oils are chemicals. But I'm not talking about those chemicals. We are talking about the harmful man made chemicals that can negatively impact our health and our environment. Whether we like it or not, chemicals are all around us in places we would have never imagined. Let me introduce you to the Dirty Dozen. They are toxic chemicals commonly found in personal care products. There are a lot of chemicals listed here, and we don't expect you to remember all of them today. But let's just introduce you to some of the names and the very high level where they are used and what they are suspected to do to your body and our environment. You can refer to page 4 of the PDF file. We have the BHA and the BHT. Those ones are used mainly in cosmetics and preservative. You will notice that they are not good for your endocrine disruptors. They're carcinogen. They are bioaccumulation. They can accumulate in your body. You can read down the list. You can even pause here and read this slide by yourself and take notes. I suggest dearly that you do that because there are a lot of tongue twisters here, and I'm not necessarily going to go through all of them. Here is another part of these that list. I would like just to talk to about the number 7, the perfume and fragrance one, used usually in variety of cosmetics. They are carcinogen. Neurotoxicity is very high. It also brings allergies and sensitivities. Now we're talking here about man-made perfume and fragrances, not essential oils by themselves. You can also pause here again and just sit down and read throughout these and also take notes. Chemicals threaten our health. Today we face hazards that were neither known nor imagined a few decades ago. We are at risk of exposure to thousands of new synthetic chemicals. Since World War II, more than 80,000 new chemicals have been invented. Many of these chemicals have been dispersed widely into the environment. Most of these chemicals did not previously exist in nature. Why are these chemicals a threat? Well, synthetic chemicals can enter our body by ingestion, inhalation, or through the skin. Are at risk of exposure in the womb and through breast milk. Environmental defense tests the umbilical cord of 3 anonymous newborns in Toronto and Hamilton, finding a total of 137 chemicals overall. The number of toxins in each baby's cord blood ranged from 55 to 121. Among them were flame retardants, PCBs, BFCs, found in nonstick coating, and organochlorine pesticides. Many of the chemicals are linked to serious health conditions. 132 are reported to cause cancer in human or animals. 110 are considered toxic to the brain and nervous system, and 133 cause developmental and reproductive problems in mammals, as it was said. Although the sample of 3 newborns is extremely small, the findings are consistent with cord blood studies done elsewhere, including in the United States. In 2014, over 5 million tons of substances were released into the environment, in the air, water, and land. The number of companies reporting in for this report decreased, so it's impossible to know about the amount is even maybe higher. Only a fraction of these chemicals have been tested for toxicity. Fewer than 20% have been studied for their capacity to interfere with children's development. In 2013, 59% of Canadian households that had a lawn or garden reported using fertilizer or pesticide, up slightly from 2011, which was 55%. Households in Saskatchewan were the most likely to have used fertilizer or pesticide in 2013. up to 75%, while those in New Brunswick were the least likely, with 47% reporting this. These chemical pesticides are used on lawns and gardens and inside homes, schools, daycare centers, and hospitals. The number of bans against the use of cosmetic pesticide in Canada has grown over the last decade. As of April 2015, 7 provinces had legislation banning the use of some or all chemical pesticides. I'd like to read to you a statement found on the Chemical Substance website, which belongs to the Government of Canada. This statement was found in their risk assessment on chemicals. Some chemicals can be very harmful. Some may harm plants. Some may cause very serious illnesses in people, such as cancer. Others may be carried long distances through the air and affect people or the environment far away. Potential long-term effects are organ damage, weakening of the immune system, reproductive problem and birth defect, effects on the mental, cognitive, and physical development of children, and even cancer. Now let's take a look at some of the long-term health effects according to the Government of Canada. Not everyone will react the same, but we should all be aware. The health risks of chemicals depend on several factors such as the type of chemical, the amount you're exposed to, when and how long you are exposed, how are you exposed, through food, water, hair, products, and so on. Your age and also general state of health is very important. Some people may be more sensitive to chemical exposure than others. Groups that may be at risk or higher risk include children, pregnant women, and seniors. Here are a few terms that you may have heard of, but if not, let's do a quick review before we take a closer look at some of the chemicals or substances, as they are called by the Chemical Management Plan, that we need to educate ourselves on. We have the endocrine disruptors, the chemicals that may interfere with the body's endocrine system and produce adverse developmental, reproductive, neurological, and immune effects in both humans and wildlife. You have the carcinogens, identified by their ability to cause cancer in exposure workers, other human population, or in test animals. Bioaccumulation refers to the accumulation of substances such as pesticide or other chemicals in an organism. You can refer to the page 6 of the PDF file. We are going to introduce a number of concerning chemicals to watch out for. You will hear the phrase endocrine disruptors come up a number of times. For me, this is one of the most concerning because it affects virtually every process of the body. We'll do a super quick biology recap here. The pineal gland produces melatonin and serotonin derived hormone, which affects the sleep pattern. The hypothalamus controls body temperature, hunger, important aspects of parenting and attachment behavior, thirst, fatigue, and again sleep. Anyone have trouble sleeping? Pituitary gland, the master gland, helps control growth, blood pressure, certain function of the sex organs, thyroid gland, and metabolism, as well as some aspects of pregnancy, childbirth, nursing, kidney, temperature regulation, and pain relief. Thyroid gland controls how quickly the body uses energy, makes proteins, and controls the body's sensitivity to other hormones. The thymus gland is for your immune system. The adrenal glands produces hormones that you can't live without, including sex hormones and cortisol. Cortisol helps you respond to stress and has many other important functions. Pancreas, a vital part of the digestive system and a critical controller of blood sugar level. the testicles and the ovaries, male and female reproductive glands. Seeing how this system works, are you comfortable with the uncertainty of the cumulative effects of so many kinds of chemicals? So, to sum it up, we see that the endocrine system regulates sleep, immune system, reproduction, digestion, energy, and well, basically every function of the body in one way or another. In isolation, a substance, let's say air dye, can be relatively safe, but can become harmful when combined with other substances. Be careful of the consumer cocktail. You may think, well, there are such small amounts of chemicals or toxins in these products, there is no way they can really affect my health that much. EPA has stated that small amounts of chemicals are not harmful to the body. But what happens when we add small amounts from every product we use every single day, week, year, for an entire life? A small amount in your soap, personal care product, air product, and soap, cleaning products, all of these little things add up to the big problems and can put a significant burden on your body. If you picture yourself as a glass and you keep adding liquid to it, eventually it's going to overflow. That's basically what body burden is. You're fine until one day you aren't. Can anyone relate to that? Have you seen that happen lately? Consider this: some chemicals accumulate in your body over time. The impact may show up long after exposure. Some chemicals can become harmful or more toxic in combination with other chemicals. Chemicals can have more impact during certain periods of time, talking about the womb, infancy, or puberty. Even tiny doses can be very potent. Has this thought ever crossed your mind? But it's such a small amount. I've been using them for years and I'm fine. Let's review the effect of bioaccumulation. Consider the effects of bioaccumulation. The body breaks down many of the toxins we are exposed to, but not all. Toxins cause extra stress on the liver as it tries to process these unnatural substances. Oftentimes, we see reactions with skin. This can be symptomatic of bigger problems, an overburdened liver, or the inability for the gut to process properly. What we come in contact with gets absorbed into our bloodstream and integrated into our body tissues. The skin is not a coat of armor on our body. Of course, it protects it, but it is highly permeable. Think about what happens when you rub lotion into your hands. It disappears into the skin. The skin is permeable. Our skin is also our body's thinnest organ. Only 1/10 of an inch separates our delicate organs from all sorts of toxins. Why are children potentially more vulnerable? Children are more vulnerable than adults to chemicals found in the environment because children, first of all, typically have a higher intake of air, water, and food in relation to their body weight. Children's body and body systems are still developing and they may be less able to process or eliminate some chemicals. This could make them more sensitive to harm from those substances. Exposure to certain environmental chemicals during pregnancy or early childhood, when they may be sensitive to developmental effects, may result in negative effects on child's health. Your children tend to have a less varied diet than adults. As a result, they may eat larger quantities on a body weight basis of a smaller range of food. This unique diet may result in a greater exposure to certain chemicals if present in food. Children spend more time in direct contact with surfaces when they crawl and will often put things like toys, dirt, etc. in their mouth. Both of these behaviors may mean they can accidentally ingest harmful chemical. Exposure to environmental chemicals beginning at a young age can potentially lead to long-term cumulative exposure over a lifetime, which could then result in effects. Some childhood exposures could affect health in adulthood. Children are largely unaware of and have minimal or little control over the hazards that which they may be exposed. We are learning every year about the impact of chemicals to our health and to our environment. Canada's Chemical Management Plan builds on previous initiatives by assessing substances used in Canada and by taking action on substances found to be harmful to human and, of course, our environment. Health Canada and Environment Canada are slowly assessing some 4,300 chemicals that have been categorized as posing a potential risk to human health and environment. It is a great enough risk that the Government of Canada has created an initiative called the Chemical Management Plan, aiming to reduce the risk posed by substances to Canadians and their environment. In May of 2006, there were 23,000 chemicals assessed that had been in commercial usage during the previous 2 decades. 4,300 substances were identified for future attention. In May of 2016, the next phase of the CMP launched to address the remaining 1,550 priority substances out of the original 4,300 substances identified as priorities during categorization. Health Canada currently has identified a list of 45 substances of interest. These substances are being or have been assessed in Canada for their possible risk to human health and to the environment. How many of you have heard of the term "let the buyer beware"? While we are very thankful that our government is making an attempt through the Chemical Management Plan to try to address this very real concern, we must not assume that just because something is on the shelf for us to buy, that it is safe. We absolutely need to educate ourselves. Household cleaner labeling. While full ingredient labeling is voluntary for general consumer goods such as the household cleaner, retail product, are still required to have certain ingredients listed along with a warning if they have been deemed to pose a hazard under the Consumer Chemicals and Containers Regulation. This is why it is so important for us to educate ourselves, like we are doing today, and find out what toxins we are regularly exposed to, ways to limit or reduce our exposure, and also use safe and effective alternatives. So, what can we do? Don't be overwhelmed. Educate yourself on ingredients to avoid. It's not enough to be aware, you must take action. Focusing on things you can control by replacing items you use most frequently. When you know better, you do better. Consider the items we use most frequently, most often. Think back to the body burden. Let's start with the items we use most often and those we use on the little ones. You can also write down some healthier choice that you chose to make. Feel free to pause the presentation when you need to write something down or reflect on something that has been said. Just by looking at the slides right now, how many of you listed these items? And there are many others on your list, I'm sure. These are just a few. The first step is to focusing on things you can control by replacing items you use most frequently. When you know better, you do better. Do you want to be using safe products in your home with your children? So how do we know what to replace with what? Which products we can trust? This is where Young Living is here to help. Young Living is known for its large selection of pure, authentic essential oils and essential oil-based products. We have a wide selection of safe, naturally derived, plant-based products for the whole home. Young Living has great alternatives to harsh cleaners and personal care products filled with chemicals. Young Living cares deeply about people and integrity. It cares about wellness and has created some of the highest quality, most effective, and purest products to help people just like us to reduce the risk of toxic chemicals. Of all the essential oils company out there, why would you choose Young Living above the others? What makes Young Living stand out? Young Living is the world leader in essential oils. We believe that your family deserves to harvest the benefits of nature's solutions every day without compromise. Our commitment to purity and stewardship is embodied in a unique proprietary process we call Seed to Seal. No other company can match what Young Living does to ensure the purity and potency of the highest quality essential oil on the market. Young Living's commitment to quality starts with the seed. The seeds we use are selected for their ability to become botanicals with high levels of bioactive compounds. We then grow the seeds using cultivation practices that are dedicated to responsible and sustainable growing and harvesting methods. Next, we distill using a gentle proprietary technique to stem extracting essential oil and preserving their precious constituents. To guarantee consistency, verifiable quality, our oils are tested in Young Living's own internal labs as well as in third-party facilities. Finally, each essential oil is carefully bottled and labeled using state-of-the-art equipment. Let's take a look at just a few of the product lines that can help. Young Living's proprietary Thieves essential oil blend was inspired by the legend of the four thieves in the 15th century, who formulated and wore a special aromatic combination of clove, rosemary, and other botanicals that they believed provided protection while they were stealing. French authorities recognized that there was such a value in the mixture that upon the thieves' capture, they received a more merciful punishment on condition that they divulge the ingredients in their secret formula. Crafted in the spirit of that legend combination, Young Living's one-of-a-kind Thieves blend can be found in all of our Thieves products, featuring the powerful essential oil lemon, clove, cinnamon bark, eucalyptus radiata, and rosemary. Thieves imparts a spicy, welcoming aroma everywhere it's used, possibly our most versatile and beloved blend. Thieves is an important ingredient in our home cleaning and personal care product, replacing harsh chemicals with pure and powerful essential oils and other natural derived ingredients. I encourage you to take the time to learn in depth about the benefits of each of these oils by visiting the Young Living University to learn more. Free from harmful chemicals found in many mainstream skin and hair products, Young Living's beauty products contains all natural ingredient infused with essential oils. These precious oils are a centuries-old beauty secret that can refine your complexion's appearance. Called goji by native Chinese, wolfberries have been used for over 5,000 years. To the people of the Ninja province, a bowl of fresh wolfberries a day is part of life. In fact, even today, the Ninja wolfberry is considered a national treasure. In ancient times, the Chinese people were said to have three cherished foods. They were ginseng, ningxia, and wolfberry. Ninja Red is a powerful drink that contains whole Ninja wolfberry puree, a super blend of blueberry, aronia, cherry, pomegranate, and plum juices, natural stevia extract, grape seed extract, pure vanilla extract, and orange, yuzu, lemon, and tangerine essential oil. Its health benefit includes support from head to toe via a whole body nutrient infusion. Ninja Red has been cherished for centuries for its energy and longevity benefits. Whole ninja wolfberries and other nutrient-dense fruit juice make Ninja Red the perfect choice for supporting health. A hydrating splash of essential oil infused goodness, Ninja Zing uses the same whole fruit wolfberry puree found in our popular super drink Ninja Red. We add sparkling water, pear and blackberry juices, and a hint of lime and black pepper essential oil for a dynamic, unique taste. You'll enjoy a refreshing boost that's full of flavor without artificial flavors. With natural flavors and sweeteners, white tea extract, and added vitamins, Ninja Zing delivers 35 milligrams of natural occurring caffeine and only 35 calories per can, making it a sweet, guilt-free boost for your early morning, long afternoon, or anytime you need a little zing. Einkorn is the original staff of life grain, known as the oldest variety of wheat, which dates back to the beginning of time. Einkorn's natural genetic code and low gluten levels makes it a superior choice because of compatibility with the human body when compared to the modern hybrid wheat of today. Einkorn grain is easy to digest, so nutrients are better absorbed. Today, Young Living is helping to bring einkorn back to its rightful prominence in the world. Healthy snacking bars, sleek bars medley of exotic fruit, nuts, and science created to perfect functional nutritional stack. It's not spending more, it's spending better. And we are already spending the money anyway. Take a look at these stats. Canadian households spend $200 to $300 each year on cleaning supplies. And look how much money we spend on trying to get healthy. What if we took that money we are spending on products that may be contributing to sickness and allocate those same dollars back into building up healthy homes and healthy bodies? Allocating these same dollars we are already spending back into monthly orders, bringing in healthier, safer products through Young Living just makes sense. In 2014, Canadian households spent over $1,100 on products with chemicals that may be making us sicker. Additionally, to stay healthy, Canadian households spend an average of $1,900 on direct health care and non-prescribed medication. Refer back to the 1600 annual spend on personal care products. I want you all to think about one or two products you would like to replace right away. What are they? Write them down right away. Make a written commitment to yourself to start today. Have you heard of Young Living's loyalty program, Essential Reward? An average family spends $130 monthly on household products. Join ER, or Essential Reward, and replace those toxic products with money you are already spending and earn points towards free products. By replacing just a few products each month, within a year you will significantly reduce impact of toxic chemicals in your home. Start the journey. It's easy. Try new products each month. Join Essential Reward right away, Young Living's loyalty program, and replace those toxic products. Within a quick 12 months, you will significantly reduce impact of toxic chemicals in your home. It's about small, simple changes. By consistently replacing a few products each month, you can easily reduce the impact of toxic chemicals. So what are you waiting for? A year from now, you will wish you had started today. Don't wait, just start. Hope you enjoyed this presentation. And don't forget to talk to the person that has invited you to come and view this presentation. Any question that you may have, or you can send all your requests at the email address that is marked on the slide. Have a very nice day.